I'm just excited as all can be to to get my car out there and to learn, really, to learn from a lot of these guys that have been doing this for many years. I'm always looking to improve anything, whatever it is, whether it's driving or sports or hobbies or whatnot. And this is something that I've always wanted to pick up. I've always been really into cars. Only been a BMW owner for a couple of years, but immediately joined the car club soon after I got the car. And it just seems like one of the huge benefits is to really take advantage of owning one of these types of automobiles, is to really get into it, is to participate in these types of events.
The ADSS, the purpose of the school. The school was originally set up as a precursor to our on-track driving schools. We found that a lot of students were coming to the on-track driving schools and starting to feel for the first time their car operating at the limit. And obviously at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, that can be pretty intimidating.
When I look at and listened especially to the autocross I actually really had almost no idea. Just finding out that it's like on a flat Hanscom field or an airfield, for example, and understanding how they set up the pylons and how they actually walk you through, literally walk you through the course so that you get a sense of it, to understand the dips and the turns and whatnot. I think that actually helped alleviate some of the anxiety. I think the classroom part of it is also good, so they're really going to, instead of just unleashing you out on the course, I think that is also going to be very helpful. And the fact that as a novice or a newbie, that I'm going to have a mentor or an instructor with me that is going to be able to give me coaching tips and whatnot. I think that's going to be, that certainly, not that there was a lot of anxiety, but I think that really made me feel very comfortable knowing that I'm going to have that level of support. And it also seems like a real fun bunch of guys that it's going to make the day very enjoyable. The introduction was great. They had a couple of instructors going through with a flipboard and talking all about different traction and different acceleration, and just telling how the rest of the day is going to unfold from an itinerary standpoint and the logistics. So it looks like it's going to be a real fun day. We've got a great day up here in New Hampshire.
Oversteer, it depends. Some four-wheel drive cars, some front-wheel drive cars. We may use the handbrake just to get that yaw started for you, so you can develop that feel, what it feels like.
If your tire's not gripping the road, you don't have control over the vehicle. So some of the things we're going to teach you today is how to operate the gas, the brakes, and the steering to optimize that grip, regardless of the situation that you're in. So a novice will come out to our Advanced Driving Skills School. That's our ADSS school. It's basically set on a large parking lot up at New Hampshire. And what we do there is we'll separate the students out into two different groups, running several different exercises. The first group of exercises they'll do is on a wet skid pad. We'll basically demonstrate oversteer and understeer exercises. The students will get to then practice that. And then halfway through the day, the groups will flip over and they'll move to the basically a highway facsimile that we have set up. And there we do braking and lane change exercises. And the bottom line is that the experience that they can get there on the skid pad and the lane change area in a safe environment is invaluable, basically, to be able to transfer those skills onto the public roads.
This was unbelievably fun. The autocross right at the end, I think, just topped off the whole day.
Put your hand up, lift off the throttle, pause, and give it a good step. Just get the throttle. There you go, right around.
Learned a tremendous amount. I actually had one of the instructors take me driving my car through the course to get familiar with it, and it was really eye-opening to see what someone that really knows what they're doing can actually do with the car. Then they were the passenger in the car, and getting you familiar with things, and I learned a tremendous amount of things today. Just everything from kind of how to set your seat up to where to look for your eyes. I think that was one of the biggest things that I learned today, is just kind of where to look around the track. I mean, if you look too close in front of your car, you're going to be eating cones. You know, you have to kind of look where you want to be going and turning sideways and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, I feel that, you know, under different, especially some of the earlier exercises that we did, some of the emergency braking and the traffic lane changes, that, you know, in these panic stops or whatnot, you just are, you know, and it's going to come with practice, and you can only do it out on a course like this. You know, I love the skid pad, and then kind of going around in the wet down ovals and whatnot. I'd like to get a lot more practice on that. I think I got the understeer down, but the oversteer, something, you know, being able to hang the car out and watching the instructors do it, it's not only looks cool, but just being able to do that on a course, very impressive. It makes you feel a lot more confident as a driver. You know, you really do. You feel like you can, you know, not only understand the limits of your car, but that you can actually recover from it, which is very important.
The BMW Car Club is a club for driving enthusiasts. And we really want people to be able to drive their cars, you know, more along the lines of what the engineers and the designers thought the cars were capable of. You know, the capabilities that you can't get on the American roads, basically. So here at New Hampshire, for example, we're able to do a proper driving school where students can actually drive their cars quickly and safely on the track without worrying about you know, speeding tickets and things of that nature.
When people show up, they are supposed to have already had their car inspected. So they're sent in an email, they're sent a form. The form is pretty inclusive. It goes through a whole list of things they're supposed to have checked, including things like changing their brake fluid, torquing their wheels. And so when they come to the line, we take the form from them, verify the things on them. So did you get your brake fluid changed on this date? Did you torque your wheels? What did you torque them to? And then we go through pretty much all the safety points on the line to look at it. We look at their wheels, I look at their tires, I look at their brakes, their rotors. We check their wheel bearings for play, look under the hood for loose things, check the battery tie downs, look in the car for loose items, floor mats, anything that would fly around or make bad noises. We look in the trunk. You'd be amazed at what people leave in the trunk. And check the batteries again, check brake lights. It's a pretty much safety, last minute thing. Are you safe to go out on the track? If the cars have harnesses in them, we look at the harnesses, we make sure they're installed correctly. Again, it's pretty much a check to make sure that you're safe on the track, you and your instructor.
Hey Phil.
Hi.
Mike Morris.
Phil Cognetta.
Good to meet you. So you're doing a driving school.
Going to the driving school, need the safety inspection.
Sounds great. Looks like a great car. I don't expect that we're going to find too much wrong with this.
Yeah, I hope not. So really interested to see it up. I've never actually even seen it up on the lift.
All right, cool. Let's get it positioned on the lift, and we're going to basically check the undercarriage, the engine bay for a few items, make sure the car's track ready, and make sure you have a safe and fun time up in New Hampshire.
Excellent. Looking forward.
So Schneller's involved with BMW Car Club on a number of levels. We sponsor the Boston Chapter driver schools. We also instruct at the driver schools, myself and also my wife. And we're also involved in BMW club racing, my wife and myself, and we campaigned a 1986 BMW 325 in the C-modified class. And that car basically showcases the performance work that we do here at the shop. And on another level, we also help out club members by answering questions on a technical board on the internet, where people post questions where they're having problems with their cars, and we try to do some over-the-internet diagnostics and point them in a direction to solve their car problems. The performance tech inspections that we do for customers here at Schneller, we do them for BMW Car Club, but also other clubs as well, Porsche Club, SCDA, for example, and also COM and a few others. And then we basically look at the cars all in the same way. We're looking at it through a racer's eyes. And being a club racer myself, I understand the forces that the car is put under and some of the stresses that are imparted upon the car. And given that knowledge, I look at the ball joints and the suspension and all the critical areas of the car in a much different way than a general repair shop would. That would be a sign of a blown strut, and that would be an unsafe situation on the track, for sure. Of course, yours look fine.
What do the tires look?
I transfer that knowledge also to my technicians because even though they're trained at the dealer, they're not used to seeing the type of loads that the cars see at the track at a regular dealership. And so we feel as though we bring a bit more expertise to the tech inspection, uncover potential problems, and ensure that the customer has a safe and reliable time at the track.
I have my tech form right here.
Tech form right here. When did you change your brake fluid? 5/7. Excellent. Did you torque your wheels today?
Yes, I did.
What did you torque them to?
First time at the track, I think the most important thing is for safety is that you have to listen to the people that know what they're doing. And that means the suggestions on the tech form are not just suggestions, they're the things that we really think you need to check to be safe. When you go through the tech line, listen to what people say. You can get pointed out little things like look at your brake rotors or your pads. And then throughout the day, you're listening to your instructor both in the classroom and in your car. And I think if you have to take one thing away, it's be receptive to learn, and that's every minute you're on the track, everything you're looking at, everything you're hearing, it all comes together to keep you safe.
Yeah, you're getting a little shallow. Okay. That's a good guide. Okay. When you get down to the bottom of the slot, it's time to get new rotors. Ooh. Okay? So just keep an eye on that. Yep. Okay.
We want you to be able to go out there, have fun, learn, and be comfortable that we've looked at your car, someone else has looked at your car, and somebody's going to be making sure that nothing bad happens from a technical point of view. And you know, that's not just the technical stuff. Safety is also the whole environment. It's the education, it's the classroom, it's the learning, and it's the track workers. You know, safety goes out to the flaggers, the spotters. There's a whole infrastructure around keeping people on the track safe.
One of our primary goals is to walk the novice students through the basics so they have a very good idea of what they're going to be experiencing when they go out on the track for the first time. So we go over what the track looks like, what a corner looks like, what the various elements of a corner are, and then we go over what the flagging positions are so they know where the safety flaggers are. And we go over the various other safety procedures that we're going to want to have them follow while they're out there. The first classroom session is usually about 45 minutes for the novices so we can really lay down all the groundwork. And this is fairly standard. I mean, if you go to Skip Barber or go to any of the professional racing schools, you'll get quite a bit of classroom before they're going to send you out loose on the track. Not that much discussion at that point. There are some questions that might arise, but for the most part, I'm just trying to feed them as much information so they're as well prepared as they possibly can to get out there. Then in the follow-up session, which is either later in the morning or in the early afternoon, that's when we get a lot of questions and feedback and, gee, you know, this happened or that happened, and why did this happen and why did that happen? And it's more of a give and take at that point.
Hey Phil, how you doing?
Hey, Ian, how's it going?
How was the classroom?
Class was awesome.
Okay, we're gonna go out on the track.
Okay.
It's your first time. You don't have to, but if you would like, I can drive the first few laps and point out the track, which way it goes, and the flagging stations.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, well, let's swap seats.
Alrighty.
Here on the track, basically a novice student is going to have an instructor with them all day. They're basically going to be taken care of the entire time they're here. Prior to the event, we assign each novice person a mentor, somebody who's been to the track a few times before, or many times, and basically what they'll do is call them you know, a few weeks before the event and give them an overview of what to expect, where to go, and making sure that both they and their car are ready for the event and comfortable. Once they get here, they're taken in again, they'll meet their mentor, and the mentor will either park next to them and take them through the day. And we really, we really look to the novices as the people feeding into the program. many of our students, or many of our instructors, I should say, have been novices. I myself, 10 years ago, I was a novice student as well. So, and I've come through the program. I'm now an instructor, been instructing for several years now. And it's just a progression of your improvement of your driving skills over time. So, and again, it's really something you can't get on the street. It's only something you can learn and develop on a racetrack.
Once you really start doing this, you just get hooked. I mean, it's fun because you're visiting different locations, you're interacting with just a tremendous group of men and women, because it's not just a bunch of guys out there. There's a lot of females out there that have a lot of really cool cars as well. You're going to, in some cases, gorgeous places like up in Canada. They have premier events up at Mont Tremblant. So you really are going to all these different places, you're seeing all these different things, and you're really getting a lot of track time, that is very well balanced, very well organized. To me, it feels like just the right amount, to be able to go out there, get the instruction, get the coaching, get out there, start, getting more and more confidence, learning the track, and then you kind of have that ability to decompress. And then you get some of the classroom training, reinforcement of that, and then at least in my experience, each and every session I'd like to think that I get better, but sometimes my problems would shift to different corners as you gain that experience, just like they had predicted. But then for me and for many people that would want to go and join this type of activity, you personally get challenged. You get challenged to now push yourself to be able to overcome that next coaching instruction that has been given to you. So it's a way to just continuously improve. And to me, it's just unbelievably, once again, fun. It's a rush. It's an adrenaline rush, candidly, and you're able to really get out there and push yourself.